connecting to other people, being able to find a way to communicate to each other. This is very important because we are all here together. We are all designed to communicate. Even if we cannot speak, we have other ways of communicating. Yeah, there's always going to be a way of communicating unless you're in a situation like Helen Keller. But I think even then there was a way to communicate too, I think. I don't know her story too good. It's a lady, a little girl who was born deaf, dumb. I don't mean to say that in a bad way, but that's the expression they used in those days. Yeah, deaf, dumb, and blind, meaning she couldn't hear, she couldn't see. So how can she learn? Because those senses are so important. And she had a very patient caretaker who, and eventually, Helen Keller really accomplished a lot of things in her adult life. She found a way to communicate. So there's always a way. Yeah, where there's a will, there's a way, as the saying goes. So we're designed to communicate, and so we should do that. Yeah, there's no, and people out there, what I mean when you're in a situation where you're alone, you're by yourself, and it's hard. Yeah, it's really hard because for whatever reason, maybe we have a personality disorder, or we're socially scared of things or something like that. But yet, even with those kind of situations, there's still that need that you want to, not necessarily be with somebody, but to be talking to somebody. It feels good to be talking to somebody. Yeah, I truly think nobody really is happy being alone, all by themselves. I mean, there is a way you can do that, but I think in the end we need somebody. I mean, not that we need it in a dependent way, but it's nice to be with somebody that you can talk to, share life with, and things like that. So, this is because we're designed this way. We're designed to communicate. And where your evidence is for that? It's inside of you. Yeah? As you are living, everything inside of you is talking to each other. Yeah? Your heart is talking to your stomach, and your stomach is talking to your to other parts of your body. Everything is talking to each other constantly. Yeah, right now they're saying inside of my universe, they're saying, when is this guy gonna eat? Hey. Shoot. But see, they're saying something. Oh my gosh. But so this is your evidence. See, now how come I say that? Ooh, somebody poked me on Facebook. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. Hey. Poke them back really quick. All right. That's what you call a... So what do you call that when people poke each other back really fast on the internet? You call that a quickie? Hey. Shucks. No, okay. Let me get off that topic there. I'm just gonna go nuts if I do that. Yeah. See, in Lakota, you heard me say this in the beginning of the show. Lakota Star Knowledge, it says that the foundation concept is that reality begins within. So, inside of you, everything is talking. Yeah, everything is talking to each other. Your blood cells, your red blood cells are talking to your white blood cells. It's just down to the subatomic level. Everything is talking to each other. Yeah? To the quantum level, everything is talking to each other. Nobody's avoiding each other. This is how the universe is designed. So, naturally, we reflect that. And when we don't reflect it, we feel hurt, we feel loneliness, we feel sadness, and so think of people who are going through hard times because some people are afraid to ask for help. They're afraid to they're afraid of rejection because they faced it because of whatever. There could be many reasons, and so sometimes we need to pull them out. Yeah, give them a helping hand and say, hey, let's go do something, man. Yeah, let's go plant a tree or something, and make it so that there's more air on this earth, so more people can breathe, and just doing something with somebody that makes them feel good. Yeah, and and just to try to get people to start communicating with other people, because we're designed to do that. Yeah, we are designed to do that. So and just think of people who are in horrendous situations that are going through real difficult times right now. Think of them, send them thoughts and energy, send them prayers, that things will settle for them somehow. Yeah, that communication will be possible for them, and so forth. Yeah. So anyway, that's the big thing. Yeah, in our existence is to communicate. Now I just remembered a story. It's not an old Lakota story. But it is something long time ago. Well, I shouldn't say long time ago. It's not that kind of old story. But back in the 1970s, or no, 1980s. No, it wasn't. It was the 70s. Yeah, there was this on the Cheyenne River Sioux tribe. See, there's this organization called the YMCA, and I'm pretty sure everybody around the world knows what that is. I don't have to explain it. It's a group that does things. Originally, it was for men. Yeah, it stands for Young Men's Christian Association, and this was, this is about fellowshipping. Yeah, to fellowship men. To do things with the boys. Like activities and go hunt, not hunting, swimming, athletics. A lot of things. To kind of mentor younger people. But with the Christian influence. It's a good idea overall, in my opinion. As long as you leave the religion out, it's a really good idea. Yeah, and that's what a lot of them did. In Lakota country, the Cheyenne River Sioux tribe was the first American Indian. Let me re-say that. Let me say that differently. The first Native American YMCA was established in Cheyenne River Sioux Reservation. And in the beginning, it was really Christian-oriented because, back then we were really becoming Christians all over America. Because reservation life was very difficult, and I don't want to go into really deep explanation on that, but things really were bad in the beginning of the reservation time period, and we lost our original way of thinking because we were deprived of food and our spirituality, and even our language. We were told not to speak our language, so all this took a really heavy toll, and it made us weak-minded, and as a result. At the same time, the churches came on the reservation and they told us that our Indian ways conflict with the Bible, which means that our Indian ways come from Satan, that they're actually satanic. And in our weakened minds, we accepted that. And so we started to accept Christianity. Yeah. So in the beginning, it was very Christian. And this really, it's not, people say, well, as long as we had a spirituality. No, that's not good. Absolutely not. Yeah, because it's more about spirituality. See, what Christianity did is it limited the view that we originally had by establishing things as good and evil, whereas in the past, you heard me say in the beginning of the show, it was about what can I learn, and can I enjoy this, and am I at peace with this, There's always at least three perspectives, but there was nothing, you know, going on concerning labeling things as good and bad and then oppressing the things that you disagreed with. That's the difference. See, a long time ago we didn't have that. Yeah, we didn't oppress things we didn't like. We respected it and said, you know, they have a right to believe what they want to believe. So as long as people don't force their ideas upon each other, there can be peace. We can agree to disagree. But when the churches came, that went out the window. Because the priests were saying, your Indian ways conflict with the Bible, therefore they're from Satan. See, that's oppression. That is not freedom. That is not freedom of choice. That is oppression. And that's what happened. So we lost a more enlightened viewpoint. And that got whittled down to something really close-minded, in which we ended up becoming very judgmental and putting down anybody we disagree with. And it's still evident today. Today, most of us are not Christian, but we're still this dualistic way of thinking. As soon as we don't agree with somebody, we attack them. And you can see that on Facebook. And look at any Native American group. You can see people attacking each other just because they disagree. This is your proof that we're still dualistic. We're nowhere close to being the way our ancestors were. Yeah. So this is the problem. Yeah. That is the problem. So whenever I say, you know, long time ago or ancient, I'm not talking about, you know, 100 years ago. I'm talking millions of years ago. Okay, so that this is it's much different. We are not the same as our ancestors. Okay, sorry for breaking away there, but I needed to explain that. So in the beginning of the reservation, it was Christian. So this is, you know, why they sought to establish this YMCA on Shan River, and it was very Christian back then. But as time went on, the Christian element they left it out because they thought what's more important is to give Indian kids something to do, you know, to help them develop socially, to help them, their bodies develop, you know, physically and stuff like that, and encourage healthy way of living, which is good. That's nice. So they left the Christian aspect out of it by the time 1970s rolled around. So and also they applied this for all children, not just the boys. They applied it for all children, because there is a YWCA as well. But the Shan River Sioux tribe thought, man, we'll just leave it as one group because we'll be able to function better. And there's women on the staff. Yeah, there's women on the board of directors. So, in fact, I think today the director of that group is a lady. Yeah, which is, I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying it's a woman. Yeah. So they set up this. You know, first of all, there wasn't any building. Yeah, there was. Instead, there was a camp that everybody looked forward to. Or sometimes the YMCA director, during the summertime, or during the fall, you know, when the weather was still good, you know, there was a location in our community where he would show movies. Yeah, and you know, they put a big white sheet against the side of a house, and then they make popcorn and Kool-Aid, and you can go there. It was so cool, yeah, because everybody's coming with their blankets and sleeping bags and sitting out there, you know, watching Godzilla and all these cool movies like that. So good times, yeah. And then they're, you know, they tell stories. They just have fun, do games. It was really nice. It was a nice thing in the community. And then they had the summer camp, which was really cool too. So it was a good experience. Yeah, I was happy to be a part of that. Yeah, because, and you know, doing this, we didn't even know what the hell YMCA stood for. All we knew is that, hey, they did good things. That's all we did. And there was no prayers. There were no singing of church songs or anything like that. There was absolutely no religion involved. So I didn't even know it was a religious organization until I became an adult. Yeah, nobody even thought, what the heck does YMCA stand for? Yeah, there was so much fun happening that us kids didn't even ask the question, what does it stand for? Yeah, we just knew that, hey, we heard the words, the letters YMCA. Hey, what's going on over there? Hey. So that's how it was. Yeah. Well, anyway, back in and again, they're encouraging communication. Yeah, with each other, fellowship. That's the whole idea. So, in the I think it was in the 1980s. I'm pretty sure now. It was in the 80s, early 80s or late 70s, somewhere around that time period. The YMCA finally was going to build a building in Dupree. They were going to build a building where kids could go to after school, do activities, maybe have snack, and volunteers were supposed to come from different parts of the country to work with children and things like that. Which is a cool idea. So they were going to build a new building, and it was going to be a log cabin, kind of a modern day kind of log cabin. And so they were going to do it with volunteer groups throughout the summer. But one time, a group from Germany came, and these were I don't know if they were German Christians or just, I think they were German Christians, because throughout that whole summer there was different volunteer groups, and they were all church groups. Yeah, they were all church-related kind of groups. So I'm pretty sure it was a church group, yeah, from Germany. And so the YMCA people came around, and they were saying, they were asking all the people in the Indian neighborhood. They were asking everybody, can you would it be possible to let two people use your bathroom to take showers? That's all they're going to do. They said they're not going to. We're going to feed them. We're going to, we have place for them to sleep and everything, but they just need a place to shower. That's all. They said they have their own soap, they have their own towels. We told them all to, keep your bathrooms clean. Don't leave it a mess. Things like that. And that's all. And so they're just maybe an hour out of your time. So my mom said, yeah, that's fine. So two guys came to our house at the end of the day. And so they came, and one guy would shower, and then the other guy would, wait and stuff like that. So this first time these two guys came, one guy, he couldn't speak English too good. He just barely could speak English, and that time my dad was visiting. See, my parents are divorced, but they divorced when I was 2 years old, and I didn't really grow up with my dad. But when I became about, 13 years old or so, he started to come up to visit, and my mom was okay with that. And so my mom said they really became good friends. Yeah, she said they didn't want to get married again. They just liked being friends. They were good friends. So he would come up, a certain, maybe a couple of weeks or so, and come up to visit for a while. Then he'd go back to Rosebud. That's where he's from, Rosebud Sioux tribe. So during this time, my father was visiting, and so we were sitting in the living room watching TV, and this German guy came in. He said, "Can I sit down?" And my dad said, "Yeah, come in, sit down." And this other German guy, he told my mom, he said, "Oh no, wait a minute. The guy that couldn't speak German, the guy that could not speak English too good, he took the shower first. Yeah, and then the other guy was he said he would come back in about 15 minutes. So we were okay. So as he came back, the guy was still in the shower. The first guy was still in the shower. The guy that can't speak English too good. Okay, so the guy that was speaking with my mom, he said, this that's in the shower right now, he can't speak English too good. And you say he comes from a part of Germany that we don't even understand what he's saying. And that's how Germany is. Yeah, there's accents in this, there's dialects in this country. You don't even know what the hell they're saying, but it's German. Yeah, like you go south in Bayern, oh boy, it can really get difficult there. You go really north in Germany, and you get something called Plattdeutsch, and that is just next to impossible to understand what they're saying. Yeah, it's all German. It's just different dialects. So this guy came from a part of Germany. I think it's in the south because they were saying what we know as the Black Forest. He said somewhere. He said there, he comes from a location where it's really hard to understand what they're saying. He said we don't even know what he's saying. Yeah, most of the time we don't even understand him. So he told us to just, he's a nice guy. He told my mom, don't worry, he's a really nice guy. He's really friendly. He's just really quiet. He said, so you might have to initiate discussion. He said to my mom. So my mom said that to my dad in Lakota. Yeah, because my dad, he don't speak English too good. Yeah. So when this guy came out of the shower, he was gonna wait for his, for the other guy. So he came in, and my dad told him, "Come in, sit down." He said, and then I don't know. They visited with each other while that guy was showering, and this guy took a liking to my dad. Yeah, and so he asked if it was okay to stay a few minutes more to visit. So my dad said, yeah, that's fine. And then my mom was okay with it. And the other German guy said, yeah, he's okay with it too. Yeah. So my dad gave him a cup of coffee, and they were. My dad's a cigarette smoker, so he gave him a cigarette, and they were smoking and drinking coffee and talking. And they both, I think they were there for about a month. And during that time period, this guy and my dad became very good friends. And what was really funny is that both of them spoke English the same way. Yeah, it was so hilarious to listen to their conversation. It was almost like two cavemen talking or something. Because my dad's English is really bad, yeah? And this German guy could just barely speak English. But because they knew words, they both knew the same words, they relied on those words. And because of the way they feel, they were able to understand each other. So with the limited English vocabulary that they had, they really became good friends. Their English didn't get better, yeah? How could it? Yeah, they both speak really bad English. But the thing is, they found a way to communicate. And this guy just opened up. It just blossomed, yeah? So the other German guy was telling my mom, he said, gee, this guy, he's really changing, yeah? All of a sudden, he's a really friendly guy, yeah? And he said, he said it must be something to do with with being here. He said, coming here to shower. And so my mom told him, yeah. My mom told this guy, said, well, he visits with, my dad. I'm saying me, yeah. He visits with him, and they talk quite a bit, and they really laugh, and they seem to really have a good time. He said, and my mom told this guy, said, my ex-husband, he speaks English really bad too. He said, and I think they both found a way. Yeah, they both speak English just horrible, but they found a way, a common bond. They found a common connection, I should say, to build this bond. And because my dad's kind of a funny guy, it brought out the humor in this guy too. And it turned out that this guy's really a funny guy. So he blossomed. Yeah, he blossomed because he found an opening. My dad provided him an opening. My dad reached in and grabbed this guy by the hand, figuratively speaking, and said, "Hey, nice to know you. I mean, nice to meet you. Let's get to know each other." Yeah. What do you like? What do you do? You know, what kind of things do you do? And it turned out that this guy was a carpenter, that he was really good at making houses. Yeah. And so lots of times him and my dad would be outside. They'd have the car hood open because, see, my dad is a mechanic. He knows old car engines inside and out. So they would be talking about car engines and all kinds of things. That guy really had a good time. So by the time the 4 weeks was over, it was kind of sad, yeah, because these two men are never going to see each other again. Yeah, they're never going to see each other because my dad, he's not the kind of guy to buy an airplane ticket and fly over to Germany to visit his buddy. Yeah, he's a res boy to the max. Yeah, and so and my dad's going to be spending time back in where he comes from. So they shook hands for the last time. It was really sad, and for I witnessed that, and Gia about cried because they're never going to see each other again. Yeah, that's so sad. You just know they're never going to see each other on this earth ever again. But the good thing is that the guy, he like I said, something inside of him just opened up. And it just blossomed. And I really, really wish I knew who this man was, because I'm here now. Yeah, I'm here in Germany, and I can speak enough German to be able to establish a conversation with him and say, "Hey, you remember me? You were friends with my dad." I really wish I could find this guy. Yeah, I don't know his name. I don't remember because I didn't want to get into the discussion of these two guys, yeah, because I tell you the truth, I really had a problem holding back my laughter hearing the way these two guys talked to each other. It was just bad English, and it was so funny, but I didn't want to laugh and make both of them think that they're dumb or anything like that. Yeah, so I just went in my room and played my cheap trick and Kiss records and Boston and music of the day. Yeah, excuse me. So but I did hear them talking, and my mom thought it was really funny too. Yeah, because my mom speaks both languages really good, and so it was really funny. But see, this is a really good example of how two guys that can just barely speak English, that they found a common point. Yeah, they found a way to say hi and nice to meet you. What do you do? Yeah, they found a way to start. And excuse me. See, this German guy, the guy that became friends with my dad, see, he didn't want to walk through the community by himself. So that's why he waited for the other guy to get done with his shower. Yeah? So during that time of waiting, my dad took advantage of that time. My dad's kind of a social guy. So he was talking to him. Yeah, what do you do? Where do you come from? What's your name? Things like that. And then see you tomorrow, because by that time they got that far, that guy was done with his shower. So, but it sped up after that, yeah. And like I said, they found a common ground, and that's the only language they knew together, and they became really, really good friends. So this shows you, yeah, this really is a good example of saying, hey, you know what? It doesn't matter if you speak a different language, but maybe there's a common ground. Yeah, and I experienced something kind of like that here, kind of, when I was when I was taking German language class over here. Excuse me. I met a girl. She was from Iran, and she was her husband was a diplomat, and people in the group kind of shied away from her, and um, for many reasons, and maybe religion is one of them. But me, I'm kind of an open kind of person. It don't matter to me what religion you are, because I want to find out, are you a good person or not? Because I know that no matter what group you belong to, no matter what religion or nationality or race or tribe a person is from, that there's good and bad everywhere you go. Yeah, everywhere you go, you're going to find nice people and assholes. Everywhere you go. Just because you're born Indian, that doesn't make you special at all. That doesn't make you better. It doesn't make you nice. It doesn't make you smart. Yeah, I can point out a lot of relatives in my family tree who are complete idiots. Yeah, and assholes, and anybody can. In any family tree, you can point that out. You can find out there's some shitty people in your family tree. Yeah, just because you're Indian, that doesn't mean you're good. It has to do with how you live your life. I know this, yeah, because I myself have gone through a transition in my life. I wasn't always this cool. Hey. I wasn't always this spectacular. And I always wasn't this humble either. That's the off guy talking there, yeah. But no, we go through changes in our life, and sometimes it's for the better, sometimes it's for the worse, and sometimes we have no idea that it's happened like that. Yeah, either direction we don't know until we meet people that we didn't see in 10 years, and we see how much they've changed, and they're like, geez, they're assholes. Yeah, and then you realize, oh, wait a minute. I changed too, yeah, and it's not that me. I mean, usually in that kind of, usually in that kind of situation, it's because I have developed more emotionally, so I can see more of how people are. Yeah, so when like for example, I used to have a best friend in high school, and I hadn't seen him for 10 years, and when I saw him, I couldn't believe how different he was, and it was really, really weird for me. And then I realized, though, that I changed too. So I must have seen more of what he was like. Yeah. Then I didn't see him again for another 10 years. And I went to go shake his hand. He looked at me. And he turned around and walked the other way. I thought, wow, what's that about? Yeah. So I just said, well, hey, I'm not going to go chasing after him. He wants to be this way. That's fine. I have my own life to live too. So I just let that go. People really change, and like I said, sometimes it's not for the better. So anyway, so I know, that because of that, there's good and bad in every culture, in every skin color, in every religion. There's good and bad. Yeah, good. I mean, people. So it did not matter to me that this lady from Iran was wearing this burqa. It didn't bother me. In this country, you can't cover your face. This lady was beautiful. This is probably the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. I just couldn't stop looking at her. I was just, I'll tell you the truth, I was enchanted by her beauty. I didn't see the burqa. I didn't see the long dress, the long coat. I didn't see that. I saw a beautiful, beautiful woman. And I could have fallen in love with her, and I probably was. Yeah? But she's a married woman, so I know I'm not going to cross that boundary. Hell, I have self-respect. Yeah? And so and plus I don't know that religion. I don't know. I don't want her to have anything bad happen to her either, just because she's talking to a man who's not Muslim, or a man in general, depending on how how extreme they might be. Because within every religion, you have people who are really extreme and people who are liberal. Not everybody's the same in a religion. Yeah. So I don't know what hers is like. So anyway, I just wasn't basically enchanted by this young lady, and so and there were times when we in the class we had the teacher would team us up with somebody, and then we would have to do a project together. Then we present it to the class, whatever it is. Yeah. So one time, her and I got teamed up. Boy, was I happy. Yeah. And but see, I saw other people when the teacher told them you have to be teamed up with this girl, you could see the expression on their faces go, oh shit, you know, just for a split second they were like, oh fuck, you know, they didn't want to do it, but then they would smile afterwards. They said, ah, that's so superficial. And I knew she saw that, and I knew that hurt her. Yeah, I knew that. You know why? The same thing has happened to me in my life in South Dakota. The same thing. I know what that feels like when people when people find out they have to do something with you and they say, oh fuck. Hey, can you put me with somebody else? I've heard that all my life in school. Even among other Indian kids. Why do you think that? Because you see, when I was in school, I always saw things from within myself. So as a result, there were some white kids that were the same way as I was, and we played together. Yeah? And so because of that, the other Indian kids, when they saw me playing with a white kid, they thought I'm trying to be white. That's how they interpreted it. That happened all through high school. Yeah? All through school that happened. And so I know what it's like when you know people from your own culture reject you because you're smart. Yeah, because I got good grades and stuff like that. I was musically inclined, so I was in the band and stuff like that. And so they really kind of separated from me because I was not like them. Yeah. So I know what that's like. So I know what she was going through. So I always greeted her. You know, when we come into class, I always say hi to her and stuff in German. And then came that day where I got to be teamed with her. And so I was trying to find a way to communicate, and because she can't speak English, yeah, and I can't speak Persian. See, people, I have to say this because a lot of people don't know this. People from Iran, these are not Arab people. They're Muslim, but they are not Arab. Okay? These are Persian people, and their language is a little bit different. Yeah, they speak Persian. So I don't know any Persian language, so the only way we could communicate to each other was what little German we knew. Yeah, so then what little words I knew, because remember, this is a beginner class. We're learning how to speak German. Yeah, this is like, I think this was the second or third course. So we're really not that good yet. And so I had to, you know, the only way I could communicate with her was through the German that I knew. And she knew even less than me. She had a hard time with the language. So I had to break it down even more simple for her. But we found a way. Yeah? We found a way, and I found a way to make her laugh. Yeah? No, I didn't make funny faces or I for our project our topic, we're supposed to tell a story about our grandmas, yeah. So I said, let's tell a story of our grandma going to the disco, yeah. Then she really laughed, yeah. Because we're picturing old women at a disco, yeah, dancing. And that broke the ice. That's all it took. I found a way to make her laugh, and after that I had her. Yeah, I mean, I don't mean in a sexual way or anything, but I had her wanting to continue to talk with me. And so we became really good friends in the little German that we knew. We became really good friends like that. So there would be times where she would buy me coffee, I would buy her coffee during the break and stuff like that, and really had a good time. I really miss that girl. I don't know where she's at now, yeah, because I had to stop the classes because of work-related thing, and she had to switch a class too. So even if I stayed at that school, I wouldn't have seen her because she had to switch, and her husband was only going to be there for 3 years. Yeah, so I wouldn't be able to be with her that long anyway as a friend. But one time I went food shopping, and I went to this store that's called Ozgida. It's a Turkish store, and they have meat, fresh meat every day for really good prices. And I like to buy my meat there. It's really a friendly store. So I went there, and I was coming in the store. I came through the doorway, and clear off in a distance, geez, it must have been a good, oh my goodness, how many meters would that be? Uh, hmm, maybe about 10 meters away. Is that about right? Yeah, about 10 meters away. In the distance, that's about 10 meters, that's about 30 feet, okay? So about 30 feet away, I just looked in that direction and I saw somebody really smile. But my eyesight's not that great long distance, yeah? So I looked there and I smiled, but I didn't know who it was, yeah? And I started going into the store, and that person started coming closer to me. And I was like, oh, it's Robabe. That's her name, yeah? I went over there. I was so happy to see her. And you could just see it in her eyes, too. I could tell she was really happy to see me, too. So it was so nice, yeah? It was so nice to see her. And I told her that, yeah, how do you say that? Um, I'm thinking about her and I can't even think of my German now. Just blocked it out. But and I mean that in a good way. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way at all. She was a really good friend. And I told her, gee, it's so nice to see you, and I'm happy. And then she said, yeah, ich auch, yeah, me too, yeah. And so we had a little discussion. She introduced her children to me, and I shook their hands. It was really nice to see, yeah. So and then of course we just had a short time to visit, but I took advantage of it as much as I could, yeah, because I just soaked it up. So that was that. So, my weekend was good after that, yeah. That was a really good way to start the weekend. And then about 2 weeks later, I was at the store called Metro. You have to have a card to shop there. For those of you in America, it's kind of like Sam's Club, yeah. But here in Metro, in Germany, the store Metro, you kind of have to have a business. Yeah, you have to have a business, or you're a government worker, or something like that. Then you get this. You can apply for that membership, and you can buy things for really low prices there, and lots of in bulk too. Yeah, so a lot of restaurants go there and buy their goodies there too. So anyway, I went there, and lo and behold, I came around the corner, ran into Robabe. Yeah, I was like, oh wow, what a surprise! Yeah, in this city of 4 million people, what are the odds of that happening? Yeah, within 2 weeks. That was just amazing. Just really, really amazing. So anyway, that all that happened, over 5 years ago. Some chances are she's back in Iran, and I hope she's happy. Yeah, that's the only thing, is I hope she's happy, and I'm really thankful to have met a wonderful person like that in my life. Yeah, that I was able to make her laugh, and that after that she kind of blossomed in the class. Yeah. So do you see what I mean? That's the kind of beauty that can happen. We are designed to communicate with each other. We are designed to talk. We're designed to listen. And I think that's the part that a lot of us don't know how to do. Is listen. Yeah. we have to learn how to listen too, to make sure we understand each other, so there's no misunderstanding. That's an art form. You have to listen, to really, really listen. And how do you do that? You have to listen to yourself first. You take time during the day, to go someplace where it's private. Yeah, whether that's in your home, that's in the nature, wherever that is, you find some place where you're by yourself, and you just take time to just be there. You don't think about anything, or let the thoughts come. They're gonna come. Yeah, no matter what you do, don't dam them up, because when you do that, that's gonna give you stress. When you dam them up, that's like when people say, just think positive. Just think positive, happy thoughts. That's not going to work. It's going to give you a temporary relief. It's like a Band-Aid. But eventually that Band-Aid is going to fall off, and it's going to be crusty and infected, and then you have a problem. It's not going to work. Yeah? So what you do is you just let the thoughts come. Just let them come. Let them come. Let them come, and let them go. Let them go. Yeah? Let it come, let it go. Let it come, let it go. Keep doing that, and keep doing that until just slow down. Slow down. Pay attention to what's happening around you. Yeah? Listen to what's happening around you. Computers making noises, or dogs barking, or the wind is blowing through the leaves, so they're making noise. You hear a breeze. Just focus on that. Slow down, just little by little by little. Grab the moment, let it go. Grab the moment, let it go. Grab the moment, let it go. Keep doing that, and then you're in the here and now. You're listening to something that let it go, let it go, let it go. You're in the present moment. You are enjoying every moment as it's coming by. Just do that and listen. As every moment goes by, listen to what it's saying. Yeah? Even if it's just the wind, even if it's a breeze, even if it's nothing. Just listen. Just listen. Now you're listening to yourself. Yeah? Something might come, but it's going to be healthy, because you're listening to yourself. Even if it seems to be a little bit scary, that's okay. It's going to lead you to something healthy, whatever that is. Okay? So you do this, and you might get thoughts, of things you need to do in your life. Things you've been putting off that might have to get done now. That's okay. Take it slow, one step at a time. This is how you listen to yourself. And don't assign yourself, I'm going to do this 5 minutes each day. Don't do it like that. Some days you're going to be able to accomplish this really quick. Some days you might take about half hour, maybe longer. Every day is different, because every day is different. Yeah? So don't rush it. Just enjoy it. Yeah? Just let it happen. This is how you listen to yourself. And then when you do that, now you're really able to listen to people when they're talking to you. So you understand what they're saying. Yeah? And then you can point out something that they may not see. Yeah? So that's how you listen. So we have to learn how to do that, instead of just talking and then as somebody's talking to us, we're thinking of the answer already. That means we're half listening. Yeah, we're not completely listening. You see what I mean? It's an art form. It's something we can learn. So just think about it like that. So those are both things we need to learn how to do: talk and listen, communicate and receive communication. Our lungs teach us that every second. Yeah? We inhale, we exhale. We give, we receive. We have to do them both. When you have an ideology that says it's better to give than to receive, you're going to die. Because you can't exhale all the time. You need to do both. You need them both. We need our weaknesses as well as our strengths. We need positive as well as negative to have neutrality, to have peace. We need it all. What we need to stop doing is labeling one side as bad. That's what we need to stop doing. Yeah? Sure, there are things that are unhealthy, but we need to make sure of that before judging it. So you need to check it out. If it's something you don't know anything about and you're experiencing it for the first time, take the time to check it out. And the best way to do that is to do that to yourself first. Yeah, that's part I was talking about at the beginning of the show, about establishing peace in your life. That includes getting to know yourself. Yeah? See? Reality begins within. So you don't need ceremonies to do this. This way of living is a ceremony. All right. So again, communication. Yeah, do it. We are designed to do it. And if you're afraid of doing that with people, start with the plant. Yeah, start with the. If you want to take care of, start with the plant. And then as you become more responsible, you can start with an animal. I mean a pet. Yeah, and then take it from there. But we are designed to do this. Yeah, we are designed that way. Sometimes we go through illnesses that may hinder that. So we have to see to the illness first. Yeah, and then learn to communicate again in a healthy way. It's possible. Yeah, it's possible. Because hey, we're built that way.